espelho, crio coragem e ponho prenda. Carteira, chave no bolso, tá carregando meu celular. Acredita, ninguém apita, quem vai querer hoje me segurar? Eu tô na vida é pra virar, que a felicidade vem. Eu tô sonhando mais além. Não, nem vem aqui me atazanar. Se eu tô rindo é pra você. Olha pro céu, meu bem, eu não fui feita pra fingir. Eu tô ligada no amor, que se tem pra viver. Amanhecendo com o pé no freio, o mundo inteiro começa a girar. No banheiro, olho no espelho, coragem e ponho prenda. Carteira, chave no bolso, tá carregando meu celular. Acredita, ninguém apita, quem vai querer hoje me segurar? Eu tô na vida é pra virar, que a felicidade vem. Eu tô sonhando mais além. Não, nem vem aqui me atazanar. Se eu tô rindo é pra você. Olha pro céu, meu bem, eu não fui feita pra fingir. Eu tô ligada no amor, que se tem pra viver.
All I wanna get is a little bit closer. All I wanna know is, can you come a little closer? Here comes the breath before we get a little bit closer. Here comes the rush before we touch. Come a little closer. The doors are open, the wind is really blowing. The night sky is changing overhead. It's not just our physical. I'm the type who won't get oh so critical. So
Hello. Thank you for waiting. I don't know if I'm on. Am I on? I'm not on. I could use a hand. There we go. Ooh. Feedback. Try it again. Still feedback. Better? Better? No, not better. I'll use this. All right. Okay. Peter, Paul, and Mary. Woo! Grammy-nominated urban alternative artist Carolyn Malachi. And Jaziri X, Pittsburgh-based hip-hop artist and social activist. So we welcome them all. We hope you enjoy this performance. And thank you to Music for Life.
Thank you, Dick.
The AV shall commence.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish
Not
it
just the V,
with
meaning
love.
the A.
Grow up on trees and
Let's go to the top again.
so I little
Joy.
girls. I like to teach the world to sing.
Well, in the beginning.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow up.
Do you have a bag full of Bitcoin down there?
A bag full of Bitcoins? Did you see a bag full of Bitcoins? What's Bloomberg doing about Bitcoin? I saw all those tables downstairs. One of them said
I'd
billionaire.
like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow up on trees and honey.
Okay, let's do this. You are working in the technological hub of the largest city on earth, and you can't plug in a speaker. Well, let me teach you this song that we're going to do a little later, as long as I got time. And I think I got sound here.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Goes, one flame, many candles, one sky, many stars, one sea. You go up and there's some of you eating Chinese food, you know, and your game, you know. One sea, many rivers, one love,
one way. I like to teach the world. One time, one secret.
There'll be a quiz on this a little later in the program.
What's happening?
I think I heard it slightly.
You sure you can hear me?
No, I think I heard it. You ready? You got it?
Still, we're switching the sound.
Oh.
Yeah, we got
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it.
Yes, she would have liked to have bought you a Coke, but unfortunately. Now's the time to finish your lunch.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing with me. Perfect harmony, perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a home and keep it company. And the real the world till one can perfect harmony and me. And I'd like to buy the world a home and keep it company. It's the real thing. What the world wants today. It's the real thing.
All right.
What the world wants today.
The 1971 jingle for Coca-Cola used all the trappings of a hippie anthem to sell millions of Cokes, and believe me, that's a whole lot of change. So when 60s activists used music to sell the real thing, people paid attention.
Everybody talking about slagging, 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 the mystic behind it, in the middle. All we are saying is give me the chance. All we are saying is give me the beautiful,
Are we going to get the same old lecture about how radical music was back in the 60s?
No. Music has always been and shall be a vehicle for change. Folk, P-funk, hip-hop, country, hardcore punk, reggae. It doesn't matter how you play it. It's what you say. Matter of fact, I could even freestyle some Dylan, you know. You don't have to be nice, cold as ice. Don't think twice. It's all right.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
Yeah.
So music for social change doesn't just begin and end with flower power. Here, I'll prove it to you with a song.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Wait, hold up. That old hippie sing-along I used to sing back in summer camp?
Oh, yeah, summer camp for you. Let's see, that'd be way back in the 90s. Uh-huh. Well, were you really paying attention to the words? I mean, This Land Is Your Land is a song about poverty, racism, religion. Did you, for instance, hey, in the shadow of the steeple, I heard my people, I saw them standing in the relief office as they stood there hungry. I began to ask myself, is this country still made for you and me? Bet you didn't sing that verse in summer camp.
No, actually, Woody Guthrie wrote This Land Is Your Land as a direct response to God Bless America.
So Woody had beef with Irving Berlin.
Word. So check it. Woody hears God Bless America and thinks, this is 1940. Workers are digging out of the Great Depression. Farmers are choking on the Dust Bowl, and young men are preparing for war. How do you call that blessed?
His song became an anthem for rallies and sit-ins throughout the 60s, but it didn't go away after the Summer of Love.
And I guess, I don't know if you talk to some of the unemployed steel workers from East LA or Pittsburgh or Gary. There are a lot of people out there whose jobs are disappearing. I don't know if they feel that this song is true anymore. And I'm not sure that it is, but I know that it ought to be. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California, New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water.
In fact, artists keep remaking Woody's songs. And no matter what style they play, the message remains as relevant as ever.
This is a song that is often misunderstood, but I believe it will not be misunderstood tonight. This is the alternate national anthem for this great land. This land is your land. This land is my land.
As I was walking, now they tried to stop me. They put up a sign that said, oh, it said private property. Well, on the backside, you know it said nothing. So it must be that side was made for you and me.
was walking, I saw a sign there, and on the side it said no trespassing around here. But on the other side it didn't say nothing, because this land was made for you. This land is my land. This land is my land. California, New York Island, from the sea to the Gulf Stream water, from the north to the south. This land was made for you and me. Land of the free.
Well, thank you for killing my childhood. To me, This Land Is Your Land is that song you sing while you roast s'mores. It's just wrong to take a song like that and mess with it.
Sorry, Jasiri, but sometimes the mere act of changing a song makes a statement. Listen to this familiar tune.
What was that?
Don't you recognize our national anthem? When jazz composer Carla Bley set the Star-Spangled Banner in a minor key, she turned a song of triumph into a funeral dirge and broke the law. An act of Congress makes it a federal offense to tinker with the Star-Spangled Banner. Did you know?
Because that would be a Francis Scott Key change.
Really?
No.
It's in the script. I had no choice. But if you're a musician who wants people to pay attention, you may have to crank the volume up to 11.
What was the controversy about the national anthem and the way you
I don't
played
know. All I did was play it. I'm American, so I played it.
mention the national anthem and talk about playing it in any unorthodox way, you immediately get a guaranteed percentage of hate mail from people who say, "How dare anyone?"
That's not unorthodox.
It isn't unorthodox?
No. I thought it was beautiful. But then there you go.
So we can all agree that a good tune will speak to people across generations, right? But the challenge is understanding what music does exactly to affect social change.
We want to get the story out there from one person to another. Build upon that and keep building.
Together, we will begin the next great chapter.
During the Obama campaign, the Will I Am, Yes We Can sort of anthem was a rousing call to confidence as voters.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes.
There is no question that music unites.
Music educates.
Music challenges. Ramarley Graham, they shot him. Sean Bell, they shot him. Amadou, they shot him. Kamani Gray, they shot him. Oscar Grant, they shot him. John Farrell, they shot him. Darius Simmons, they shot him. Justin Sipp, they shot him. Scared rappers, be quiet. Scared preachers, be quiet. Scared leaders, be quiet. You in the presence of warriors that said scared rappers, be quiet. Scared preachers, be quiet. Scared leaders, be quiet. You in a warrior face, boy. You can't call us a race war, cause we the only ones that got hate for. They get shot down when the gauge war. We always willing to take more. From Emmett Till on that lake floor to Trayvon, Ricky, your boy, Mumia, Troy. Yes, we destroy some of public enemy. Y'all bring the noise. Musa Alexander, they locked her. Jasmine Thor, they shot her. They keep trying to kill us, but they never get indicted. Our people crying loud, but these scared rappers stay quiet. And if we don't get justice, do we need to start a riot, huh? Do we need to start a riot? Need to start a riot? Do we need to start a riot? Need to start a riot? Do we need to start a riot? Need to start a riot? Do we need to start a riot? Need to start a riot? In 92, them riots blew. Peace treaty, red lights was blue. In LA, the Crips and the power rules. So decide the future start riding true. At the end, all I was behind it too. The police came in to divide the crew. Say still a homies caught in driving through. Another gang took and fired a tool. Our unity is our biggest weapon. When I ask the question, you feeling threatened. But imagine your child being killed for less than 45 days for the killers arrested. Mad at me, can give it a message. But we can get killed by Zimmerman. And they can get off to the privilege. Then are we really citizens? Get beaten to death, you an immigrant. Now back to your country to sentiment. They call us monkeys, say we ignorant. So we get killed, they don't give a shit. Now what would you do if you was living this? To protect your kids from this? If your child got killed, would you live with it? Would you slit your wrist? Would you get the fifth? Would you care about the job or your benefits? If they said they murderer was innocent, no trial, no judge, no sentences. And you saw how foul the system is. But they keep telling us to keep waiting. They keep telling us to be patient. They keep telling us that we hating. When we kill cause we black and we racist. How more than they shot them. And for 40 years they locked them. They keep trying to kill us, but they never get indicted. Our people crying loud, but these scared rappers stay quiet. And if we don't get justice, do we need to start a riot, huh? Do we need to start a riot? Need to start a riot? Do we need to start a riot? Need to start a riot? Do we need to start a riot? Need to start a riot? Do we need to start a riot? Need to start a riot? Yeah. So I wrote that song after I heard a report. An organization called the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement, they did a report. They said in 2012, 313 black people were killed by police officers, security guards, or people claiming to be neighborhood watchmen like George Zimmerman. And that amounts to 1 every 28 hours a black person is killed in this manner. And so when I heard it, I thought, like, where's the outrage because of that? And then also last year was also the 20th anniversary of the LA riot. And while the LA riot caused a lot of damage and destruction, there were two things that it actually accomplished. It brought together Crips and Bloods in unity, and it also actually led to real police reforms. Now, me, I don't believe a riot is the answer, which I asked why I put a question mark after it. Do we need to? But the larger question I'm attempting to ask is, if this keeps happening and no justice is being done, what do we have to do, not just as our community, but as a country, to get justice in these manners? Well, you know, you don't need Molotov cocktails sometimes. All you need is 3 chords and some punk rock attitude. Today we have Lady Gaga challenging small-mindedness about sexual orientation with Born This Way. Sometimes you just gotta rage against the machine. But a challenge doesn't have to be loud. In the 1930s, Billie Holiday was outraged by the lynching of African Americans. So she poured her anger into one of the most quietly confrontational songs you'll ever hear, Strange Fruit.
Southern trees bear strange fruit. Blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees.
Music educates. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far, very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And while we spoke of many things, rules and kings, this he said to me: we are green thumbs, fashioning fruit basket cases from our grandmother's gardens, the free work of captive hands broke, just trying to foot the bill for the price of stolen magnolia as it blooms in spring. These teenage things, they grow like weeds. They kick and scream for our attention. We put paper bags over their heads, forgot to punch holes in the eyes so they could see, or don't able brown bodies already come with empowered limbs? Legs that move like anthems do. Records of achievement cut from the best fabric worn first by women, too whole for men to have them. Thrifty chicks, too rich to be bartered, too hard to be soldered to big mama's problems or little mama's issues, too complicated for simple blues, too small for their big dreams. And it seems the greatest thing you ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. I think self-love, thank you. I think self-love is very, very important, especially for young people, especially for young women in developing countries who are struggling to do something as simple as get an education. The value of self-confidence, belief in yourself, will push you to overcome the obstacles. So, in a very 60s kind of way, but in a very retro-futuristic way, I think self-love is a revolutionary act.
Very true. Mm-hmm. Amen.
So, I didn't turn the page in the script. Because if you really, really, really want to change the world, you've got to spread the word.
When John Henry was a little baby, sitting on his daddy's knee, out his finger at a little piece of steel. Steel's gonna be the death of me, Lord, Lord. Steel's gonna be the death of me. Well, now Steel's gonna be the death of me, Lord, Lord. Steel's gonna be the death of me.
In the 1870s, the John Henry Ballad warned about the perils of the Industrial Revolution. And women learned about the rising suffragette movement from another powerful song.
It's fit that wives should submit to their husbands submissively, weakly. Though whatever they say, their wives should obey, unquestioning, stupidly, meekly. Our husbands would make us their own victim take, without ever a wherefore or why for it. But I don't and I can't, and I won't and I shan't, though I will speak my mind if I die for it.
Any questions? And this tune put London on notice. Discriminate against Irish immigrants and you might have a fight on your hands.
Well, I started out to find this man. I found him mighty soon. He was seated in the corner. He was reading the Tribune. When I told him what I came for, he in a rage did fly. And he said, you are a paddy and no Irish need apply. Well, I felt my temper rising that I'd like to black his eye. To tell a decent gentleman, no Irish need apply. Now some may think it a misfortune to be Chris and Pat or Dan, but to me it is an honor to be born an Irishman.
You don't have to get all preachy to sing the truth, you know? Listen to what happens when Nellie Mackay responds to the charge that feminists lack a funny bone.
Feminists don't have a sense of humor. Feminists just want to be alone. Ooh. Feminists spread vicious lies and rumors. They have a tumor on their funny bone. They say child molestation.
Now you could warn people about the dangers of radiation like this.
Just give me the restless power of the wind. Give me the comforting glow of the wood fire. But please take all your atomic poison power away.
Or you could put a smile on 3 Mile Island. After the Fukushima disaster, Japan's Rankin taxi decided he could sway more people with humor than, well, he went for it.
大変だ大変だ大変だ大変だニクリア大変だ大変だ大変事故ったら大変だ大変だ大変だ大変だ福島大変だ大変だ大変やらかした
Music unites. And why is that? Well, because it speaks to the heart first and opens a pathway for us to have an understanding together. And because you're so well coached. We live in the same... We live in the same house on different floors. And I got my window, and you got yours. We each got a door that leads to the hall, but the rooms are so cozy, and the door is so small. One flame, many candles, one sky, many stars, come on brave ones. One sea, many rivers, one love. One more time, one flame, many candles, one sky, many stars, one sea, many rivers, one love. So many hearts, so mostly we sit by windows and stare. Sometimes we wonder what's happening out there. Is there something I'm missing? Something I ought to see? Something bigger than life, something bigger than me. One flame, many candles, one sky, many stars, one sea, many rivers, one love, so many hearts. I'm reading a book I found on the shelf, a mystery that I've written myself. I'm in the last chapter, I'm not sure what's in store, but I'm betting it ends with a knock on the door. Come on now. One flame, many candles, one sky, many stars, oh, one sea, many rivers, one love. Oh, do it again. One flame, many candles, one sky, one sea, one love. Watch it now. So like a Bloomberg choir. Come on, whoa, whoa, whoa. Many hearts. Oh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm getting so much help here. I wrote that song because while music of social change can point fingers, it can open doors to concepts that we've not thought of, taken seriously, concerns that we hold in common. It also
suggests that because of our common beginnings, we have a community that is just begging to be recognized by all of us. The fact is, the most profound thing music does is to bring people together. Let's hear it. Come on, James! Do it to me! James!
Baby, baby,
Where are you, James?
Bad self! Say it loud! I'm thinking I'm proud! Say it loud! Say it loud! Say it loud!
I can identify.
Wow. In 1968, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, rallied Afro-Americans to unify around the Black Power movement. And in 2005, Don Omar brought Latino Americans together with Reggaeton Latino. Then there's the Bob Dylan of Lebanon, Marcel Khalif, who urged Arabs to speak up against religious and governmental oppression.
لم يعرفوني في الظلال التي تمتص لوني في جواز السفر.
وليت هالسياسيين اللي متحكمين بالعالم على الأقل قبل ما يناموا يسمعوا لحن.
I wish that these politicians who control the world would listen to a tune before they go to bed.
ربما بدل ما يعلنوا الحرب بيعلنوا الحب ساعتها.
Perhaps then instead of declaring war, they would declare love. After the New Zealand Parliament passed a bill legalizing same-sex marriage, the jubilant lawmakers united in an impromptu version right there in the chamber.
Marriage, definition of marriage, amendment bill, third reading.
Now I understand
C-SPAN in the Senate. And in another country, Brad Paisley has never shied away from serious issues. His 2009 hit, Welcome to the Future, celebrated advances in racial equality, particularly the election of Barack Obama to the presidency, but that angered conservative country radio programmers in the process.
I thought about him today, and everybody who's seen what he's seen. From a woman on a bus to a man with a dream. Hey, wake up, Martin Luther. Welcome to the future.
But sometimes the same artist can try to unify and really miss the mark. Unfortunately, Paisley's collaboration with LL Cool J was criticized as way too naive.
This tune has ignited a media firestorm.
And when you talk about the Confederate flag, a lot of people I know start twitching.
Man waiting on me, the Starbucks down on me. I hope you understand. When I put on that t-shirt, the only thing I meant to say is
Skinner fan.
Right. Calm down, African-American baristas. Everyone knows this flag up here just means someone's a Skinnerd fan. Same way that burning a cross just means someone's a Madonna fan.
Of course, a lot of critics are having problems with the song's message of let's let bygones be bygones.
I'm proud of where if you don't trust my gold chain, not everything we've done. I'll forget the iron chain.
Now, that's a pretty good deal, Paisley. LL will forget 250 years of enslavement if you accept his taste in accessories.
Accidental Racist may not have unified too many people, but in turn, it inspired this work of comic genius by Stephen Colbert.
To the man stretching next to me at the Crunch Gym down on Main, I hope you understand. When I told you God hates fags, the only thing I meant to say is I'm a Skinner fan.
Hey, Mr. Straight Man, I wish you understood what it's like to live in the world when you look this good.
Music challenges.
Yes, it does.
Music educates.
And music unites. But in the end, beyond the entertainment, who really cares?
Sky falls, and earthquakes, we gon' put this back together, we won't break. Sky falls, and earthquakes, we gon' put this back together, we won't break. Trap I say, I'm part of the princes, my Haitian gods, and all of my princesses, I'll feel this.
And my brother's down on his knees, my city of ruin. There's a church for me, yeah. We're saving our own life. It's true we make a better day, just you and me. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a better day, so let's rock it. I mean, honestly, can a bunch of high-profile music makers in a stadium really make a difference to the real world? Well, if you look at the bottom line, yes, they do. Whether or not you're moved to tears or donating big bucks, you can solve big problems, from natural disasters to injustice to the suffering inflicted on 9/11.
2010's Hope for Haiti benefit alone raised more than $58 million to help earthquake victims.
And it isn't just about big global events. The power of music is local too. When a Russian oil executive wasn't held responsible for a car crash that killed 2 doctors, a 25-year-old named Noise MC gave voice to the growing frustration. His song took off on YouTube, and the Russian president ordered that the accident be investigated.
Concerned about mountaintop removal in her native West Virginia, country star Kathy Mattea recorded the heartbreaking Black Long Coal. But she didn't just write the song. She arranged a meeting between pro-mining Governor Joe Manchin and environmental groups. Afterwards, Manchin agreed to help.
He's had more hard luck than most men could stand. The mines was his first love, but never his friend. He's lived a hard life, and hard he'll die. Black lungs done got him, his time is nigh.
Now, you may be thinking, do oil execs and corrupt politicians really care about some punk kid with a guitar? Oh, you bet they do. Why else would they be so determined to stop the music? You remember Ice-T's Cop Killer. Law enforcement groups pressured his record label into burying the track, even blaming the record for the LA riots. They stereotyped him as the irresponsible rapper inciting violence against the police, but to others, he was an important and underrepresented voice protesting a 1990s rise in police brutality.
See, it's one thing to get heat from the cops, but one musician was actually banned from the White House for his dangerous views. Now, cover your ears if you can't handle seriously radical music.
Yes, Aaron Copland, Public Enemy #1. The composer was actually booted from Dwight D. Eisenhower's inauguration for his alleged ties to communism.
So these days, Ike and Aaron Copland would have a Twitter war on their hands.
Yeah, I can just picture it. Hashtag fanfare for the commie man.
Now, whether it's viral videos, political songs, political videos, from whatever point of view, can be made, in somebody's living room. Democracy's alive and well on the internet, and I'm thrilled about it because the idea of changing business as usual is really something I can feel hopeful about again.
Used to be if you didn't have a big record deal, you had to scrape together club gigs and hope that somebody would drop by to listen. But all that has changed.
That's right, because the internet gives our generation access to a whole new medium.
The web is bigger than any stadium, and it fits into your back pocket.
Mm-hmm. If you look at that. You want to play something? That is the soundtrack of A Dictator about the fall. A couple of years back, 21-year-old Tunisian rapper El General was banned from the radio. He was forbidden to perform or record.
But in the age of social media, you can't shut us up that easily. When censors tried to take El General out of the mix, he just put his music online.
أنا اليوم نحكي معاك باسمي واسم الشعب الكل اللي عايش في الأحلام 2011 ما زال فما شكون يموت بالجوع حاب يخدم باش يعيش لكن صوته مش مسموع اهبط للشارع وشوف العباد ولات وحوش شوف الحاكم في المتراك كاكاتك مع الفلوس مادام.
In 2010, Raise Le Bled was unleashed on Facebook. It blazed across social media an anthem that brought Tunisians into the street and sent President Ben Ali packing.
YouTube, Google Hangouts, SoundCloud, Stageit, Flipboard, Facebook, Twitter, the list goes on and on. These are our new venues, and this is how we disrupt.
And we thought Woodstock was a big stage. The web and social media don't just help established artists either. Absolute beginners can voice their concerns as well.
If you have a beat and a camera phone, you don't need the big channels of distribution.
Now, I recently submitted this song to MTVU because I wanted the world to see it, and good news, they accepted it. What up, though, finale? But the plot thickens. The standards department at MTV said that the video could not be shown on the network because it was, quote, too problematic due to its suicidal undertones. Now, in my eyes, what I see as problematic is that nobody wants to talk about this issue of mental health in our community. So I wrote this song to open up the conversation. I made this video to open up this dialogue. So I'm going to ask you, person watching this, when you view this video, you let me know. Do you think it's too problematic? It's hard to get a glimpse of hope when you're against the ropes. Try to penny pinch, but after bills and rent you're broke. Life it always throws a wrench like Kemper in the scope. You in the aftermath, so come to numb it with a drink of smoke to ease the pain of sleep.
Today, her video has gotten tens of thousands of hits online without any help from a big cable network. Funny thing, MTV finally agreed to air the video. Wonder why?
You know, Invincible, she's not alone. Video sharing sites are a non-stop festival of homegrown vids with a lot to say.
Generation, now is the time, take action. Your time to shine, generation. Now is the time, take action. Our time to shine, generation. Now is the time, take action. Your time to shine, generation. Now is the time, take action.
I thought I'd die before anything could ever go wrong. Never thought I would wake up and the ice would be gone. If you see him, will you explain to him what's going on? Save my polar bear from harm. Turn out the lights, turn on the slow microwave. Maybe there's still a small chance that we can save my polar bear.
Drop hacky sacks, not bombs.
Lincoln Memorial 1963. You talked about your daughters and your sons, hoping that they could all join hands one day, with 100,000 voices singing, we shall overcome. Dr. King, do you see your dream? Dr. King, does the freedom ring? Do we take every chance we see to create true equality?
Normally at a show like this, you've already been asked to turn your cell phones off, but this is about music from change. And these days, if you want to change things, it's good to have your smartphone handy. We're going to sing a few songs, and while we're playing, if you're so inspired, feel free to give us a mention or share your thoughts using the handles that are up behind us. Even though I don't Twitter, I'd be really honored if I got Twittered, whatever that means. And the hashtags are on the screen, so help yourself, and let's finish off this program with some real music.
So think about it. There are almost 300 of you in this room, and if each of you has 200 Facebook friends, you could spread this music and this message to about 60,000 people. That's 3 times more than a full house at Madison Square Garden.